Once upon a time, in the green, fertile lands of northern Uganda, lived an old man with his two sons, Gipir and Labongo. Their land was a paradise, with birds in the skies, animals in the bush, and the great river Nile flowing through it, bringing life to their crops and livestock. The family had migrated south from a place called Bahal Gazel and had finally found peace. But as time passed, the old man grew weak. On his deathbed, he called his elder son, Labongo, and handed him the clan's most sacred object, a royal spear, passed down for generations. This spear wasn't just a weapon, it was a symbol of leadership. Labongo promised to protect it and the clan. After the old man's death, Labongo became the leader. His rule was strong, though sometimes harsh. But the land stayed peaceful. One afternoon, while Labongo was away hunting, an elephant charged into their maize field. The women and children screamed and scattered. Gipir, hearing the chaos, ran out, saw the elephant, and grabbed the nearest spear. He struck the elephant and it ran off, wounded. He had saved the village. But there was a problem. The spear he used was Labongo's royal spear. When Labongo returned and heard what happened, he was furious. That spear meant everything, it was to be passed down to his children. He demanded that Gipir go into the forest and bring it back. Gipir was shocked. The forest was wild and dangerous. But Labongo insisted. And so Gipir, with a heavy heart, said goodbye to his family, and disappeared into the wilderness. 4 months he wandered injured, starving, and alone. He almost gave up on life. But then, fate stepped in. An old herbalist woman found him barely alive. She took him in, cared for him, and nursed him back to health. Gipir was alive, but forever changed. He stayed with the old woman for years. They became like family. Then one day, deep in the forest, they came across the skeleton of an elephant. And sticking out of the bones was the royal spear, untouched by time. Gipir finally smiled. He had fulfilled his brother's demand. The old woman gave him a gift, a handful of beautiful beads, and sent him off with her blessings. Gipir returned home, thinner, older, but alive. The people were shocked. Labongo embraced his brother, overjoyed. There were days of celebration. But the joy would not last. One day, Labongo's young daughter accidentally swallowed one of the beads that Gipir loved so much. When Gipir heard, he demanded the bead back immediately. Labongo begged him to wait, the child would pass it naturally. But Gipir refused. He reminded Labongo how he had once sent him to face death for a spear. Now, he said coldly, I want my bead. Labongo wept, but in the end, he gave up his daughter. The child was cut open. The bead was retrieved. But something inside Labongo broke forever. He could no longer live beside his brother. So the brothers parted ways at a place now called Wanley, near Pakwak by the Nile. Gipir crossed west with his family, his people became the Aller, spreading into Congo and South Sudan. Labongo stayed east, becoming the ancestor of the Ekoli, Langi, Itiso, and other Luo-speaking tribes who moved into Uganda and Kenya. To this day, Wanley is a sacred place, where people go to honor the ancestors and pray for peace, justice, and unity. And that is the story of Gipir and Labongo, a tale of pride, pain, and a brotherhood that shaped nations.